got guns out of shooting guns out of real guns.
As they were deploying to investigate what was going on at First and Broadway, shots rang out and 2 of our officers were shot. Both officers are currently undergoing treatment at University Hospital. One is in alert and stable. The other officer is currently undergoing surgery and stable. I am very concerned about the safety of our officers. The safety of our officers and the community we serve is of utmost importance.
Welcome, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, to Black World TV, the new black media, black by popular demand. So family, by now, not only are we pissed off and aware of the faults and recklessness of Attorney General Daniel Cameron, especially after finding out that the man isn't even qualified to be in the position he's in the first place, coming out of a job as a pencil and paper pusher turned attorney general. This man had no business being on a high-profile case such as the Breonna Taylor case. But nonetheless, there have been some people like Candace Owens, like Shaquille O'Neal, like Charles Barkley, and a few other bootlicks in the world out here who have sided on the side of law enforcement that the Breonna Taylor case is justified. And they said all of these ignorant statements without any proof or evidence to back up their claims. So now we have a ballistics report that doesn't support Kentucky's Attorney General's claim that Breonna Taylor's boyfriend shot a cop. A Kentucky State Police ballistics report does not support State Attorney General Daniel Cameron's assertion that Breonna Taylor's boyfriend Kenneth Walker shot a police officer the night she was killed. Cameron said Wednesday, the investigation of Taylor's death March 13th ruled out friendly fire from Officer Brett Hankinson as the source of the shot that went through Sergeant Jonathan Mattingly's thigh, prompting him and Officer Miles Cosgrove to return fire, killing Breonna Taylor. So let's pause for a second. So basically what they're saying is the claim that they were shooting in the first place because Kenneth Walker had shot and hit Sergeant Johnny Mattingly in the thigh, prompting him and Officer Miles Grove to return fire, that was absolutely false. Daniel Cameron, he went with that assumption. Without any evidence, he believed exactly what those officers had to say. He's had a lot of nerve to come forward to even say that he knows what it feels like as a black man. And he says that because he has black skin on his face. And that means absolutely nothing. We've come to find out that this man here, pictured here, this so-called black man, he isn't black first at all. He's not about justice first either. If he was, he would have considered all the evidence and he would have presented as much to the grand jury. We're going to find out the truth and reality one way or another as it comes to light. But we're all under the speculation that this man, Daniel Cameron, didn't reveal much of anything to the grand jury. That's why you see protests and destruction all across the United States. This man, I put fully to blame for everything we see on our TV screens. I put him fully to blame for what we see, for the injustice for Breonna Taylor. I put it solely on this black man who they put in that position. So, the KSP report says that due to limited markings of comparative value, the 9mm bullet that hit and exited Mattingly was neither, quote, identified nor eliminated as having been fired, unquote, from Walker's gun. Cameron said Hankinson had been eliminated as the shooter because the three officers carried .40 caliber handguns while Walker had a 9mm. Wednesday night on CNN, Stephen Romanez, one of Walker's attorneys, said he obtained a Louisville Metro Police Department record showing Hankinson had been issued a 9mm weapon as well. Romanez declined to share the record from Hankinson's personnel file with the Louisville Courier-Journal, and LMPD spokeswoman Jessie Halliday said she could release it only in response to an open records request. The Courier-Journal, part of the USA Today network, filed one, but the department hasn't responded. Another attorney for Walker, Rob Eggert, provided the ballistic report, which was first reported by Vice. Walker said he fired a single warning shot from his Glock handgun at Taylor's apartment because he thought intruders were breaking in. Police said they had identified themselves. They were attempting to serve a no-knock search warrant shortly before 1 a.m. March 13th at Taylor's home as part of a narcotics investigation. So let's pause for a second on that. Black people, they want you to believe that they were attempting to serve a no-knock warrant, which means that they didn't have to knock at all. But they're trying to make you and I believe that they went there and that they knocked on the door. Even though they obtained a no-knock search warrant, they actually knocked on the door out of respect to alleged drug dealers. That doesn't make sense at all. Daniel Cameron has been trying to convince us of that nonsense. But I digress. Cameron announced Mattingly and Cosgrove were not charged with any crime because they had a right to defend themselves. Hankinson, who was fired in June, was charged with 3 counts of wantonly endangering Taylor's neighbors by firing shots that entered their apartment. He was not charged with endangering Taylor. Exactly why this is non-justice, why you have protests all across America. Cameron declined to explain that discrepancy or respond to 13 other questions about the case submitted by the Courier. His spokeswoman said Saturday that the office was not scheduling interviews and couldn't talk about the grand jury proceedings because of secrecy rules governing them. You see, white supremacy covers its ass oh so nicely. This is how they show that they're full of shit and that we should not trust them at all. Cameron said last week that Mattingly fired 6 shots, Cosgrove 16, and Hankinson 10, and Taylor was hit 6 times. He said FBI ballistics examiners concluded Cosgrove fired the shot that killed Taylor, but KSP couldn't determine whether Cosgrove or Mattingly fired that bullet. The shot hit Taylor's pulmonary artery, killing her within minutes. We already know that the city has agreed to pay the family $12 million to settle a wrongful death suit filed by Taylor's estate and agreed to make numerous changes in police department policies and procedures. Well, family, as we know, that when they paid the family $12 million to settle a wrongful death suit, they were actually admitting their guilt. You see, white supremacy tries to play these semantical mind tricks. You know, it's a trick bag where they say one thing, they mean another. They hide the truth here, reveal it in other areas. You know, they're good at that. This is what white supremacy is about, and that's why I don't trust it, not one bit. And so, as I conclude this broadcast, let me just state for the record, once again, Daniel Cameron, all of the destruction that you see across America, all the protests that you see, all the unrest, this is at your hands. This is based on your actions. This is what you have caused behind white supremacy. This is what you have decided to defend. And for that, the black community at large hates you. As you sit up on TV showing your face and trying to explain this away, we see that just because there's a black face in a high position, black people shouldn't celebrate at all. I don't know who put you there, but you don't deserve to be there, not one bit. You are unqualified. You are unfit. And this is a travesty of justice. This is non-justice. And again, Attorney General Daniel Cameron, Kentucky's Attorney General, you're just that. And we dismiss you completely. This is Black World TV, the new black media, black by popular demand. The Ballistics Report reveals the truth. Even though people like Candace Owens, Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, and a few others have come forward against our Breonna Taylor because you had false information. You had low information. You didn't consider all the facts. And you certainly turned a blind eye to white supremacy and just how it operates. Black World TV.